Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our publishing and coaching services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. Today, we're being joined by Will Rhame, author of the Voyager series. Will, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here with you.
Are you ready to get started?
I am ready.
All right. Question number one. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
If they're currently writing a book, what I have found to stop or that impedes my ability to write is when I don't have a detailed outline. So I make sure that when I write a book, my outline is very detailed and I don't get writer's block as a result of it. Some of my outlines are 30, 40 pages long, and it just really helps me when I write my book.
And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
There's so much involved in the publishing aspect of it. I've been William Morris has been a agent of mine on another book that I've written, and you know it just kind of depends on what it is that you're trying, what your audience is. Who are you going for? Are you trying to build your name up, or are you trying to satisfy a particular group of people? And you really need to kind of take a look at all the angles of what you're writing about and who it's going to be for in that regard. And so publishing can be really difficult for new-time people. And so a lot of self-publishing is really coming online, has been coming online for the last 10 years. But boy, you need to have your act together. You need to know who you're going after if you're going to self-publish.
Absolutely. I mean, knowing your market, it's the key.
Yes.
Well, please share a marketing strategy that you have used in your book launch that worked well.
There are a number of them. Now, as we get more and more involved in social media, you can literally define the group of people that you want to sell to or work to promote your book and sell your book. Facebook is an example of social media, of course, and you just, again, need to identify who is it or what type of person that you're looking for. And then you can type in, as if you're using Facebook as an example, the particular type of people you're looking for. I'm looking for homeschoolers, or I'm looking for doctors, or I'm looking for whatever type of person. And they'll give you a list of different types of Facebook groups that you can join. And it's been very, very helpful in working that. So I think social media is a great thing if you are self-published.
Now, you're mentioning the group, so you're basically looking for specific groups, and then you join them, and then you're basically marketing your book to them. Is that correct?
Correct, exactly.
Okay.
And I think that one of the things that I do with mine is I put together a little, I guess you'd call it a 15-second video. Video is so important today. Everybody's visual. And so if you can put something that talks about your book that a person can look at and very quickly gives them, you know, why is this good for me? How can I benefit? And where can I get it? And then do it in a very professional manner, then they're more likely to read what's underneath that particular little video vignette that you have.
Well, let's talk about your favorite book. So what is your favorite book, and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
Well, it's been an interesting life that I've gone through. I've been all the way on the top and all the way at the bottom. I've actually even suffered from PTSD. And one of the things that I've learned is that I became a neurotherapist, and because I wanted to figure out how in the world can I change the wiring in my brain? How can I literally become a different person in terms of the way I think, so that I don't keep on taking myself down? And one really fun book, one good book that was a great, simple, short read was Treat Yourself to Life by Raymond Barker. And so I would recommend that to anybody who just wants to take a step back and look at how they're going through life, and some considerations they might want to make in terms of maybe making it better.
Yeah, you bring up a great point with that. For a final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
It's such a good question, and I think one of the quotes is, "If fear is cultivated, it will become stronger. If faith is cultivated, it will achieve mastery." And that was written by John Paul Jones. And one of the things that I found out about the brain is that we have the ability, the brain is malleable, and we have the ability to change the wiring patterns so that we can make ourselves happier, we can make ourselves more successful. We just need to know how to do it. And we're taught physical hygiene when we're 5 years old. You know, if I get a cut, I know what to do. But we get more cuts and bruises in our brain than we'll ever get in our body, and we don't really have a clue on how to do mental hygiene. And so I think that if we endorse something negative like fear, or if we think of fear, it's just going to appear. But if we think of something positive and in something that can be good in our lives, then that will appear. And in one way, you could say, I'm going to trick my mind. And in that regard, I'm going to think of something really positive that I can do today, or that I want to accomplish, instead of thinking, well, you know, I'm not so sure I can do this, or I'm really struggling at this. Because if you say it like that, then you will struggle and you will have fear. But if you turn it around and say, nah, I don't fear it. I am out there and I want it and I'm going to be happy, then you can literally change the way the synapses work in your brain and become a much happier person.
You bring up a lot of great points. It's all about what you want to manifest in your mind, and that's what's going to appear.
Exactly.
Well, Will, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. What is the best way for people to find you online?
They can actually go to my book, and I have a book series called The Voyagers.net is the easiest way. It's also the VoyagersSeries.com, but the Voyagers.net is the easiest, and you can read about who I am and my background, but you can also find out about the books themselves as well. So the Voyager series or the Voyagers.net would probably be the best way.
Well, Will, I want to thank you once again for being a guest on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
Well, it's been an honor, and I can't thank you enough.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how to get your book published with a proven system that works, grab a free copy of my book at getpublishedpodcast.com.